Hey my Scarpy friends, welcome to my channel. This is Hannah with you today, and I'm going to be working on some December Daily. This is December Daily Day 1, and it is a jam-packed day because I have some special stuff at the beginning for Day 1. Is kind of like preparing into, and I'll go into details as I do that, but I wanted to let you know that I am going to be working with quite a bit of product from Larkin Designs. Teresa of Larkin Designs created a Christmas like holiday set that she put out before the holiday season, and there's a whole bunch of cards, and then there also is some templates too that you can buy. So I'll make sure I have a link below to that so you can go check them out, because there's a lot of fun elements and pieces. So this first piece that you are seeing me cut up is actually going to be on the other side of my spread. So in essence, I'm doing this one page that is a front and a back, and then a just a pocket, like a half a pocket, because I'm not doing front and back of the pocket, but just the front side of another pocket page. So it is a little bit bigger, but I have found that in my December daily, I don't want to limit myself to whatever to that one spread for each day, or only one picture for each day, because some days you just have tons of pictures, right? And some days you have no pictures. So what I have done is taken one of Teresa's cards. It was a 6x4 card, or 4x6, and I dropped it in to Photoshop in a 6x8 template. So I just said new and open, and set the parameters for 6x8. And then I just dropped the card all the way down to the bottom. And so the card essentially was just resting on the bottom of it. And then I just saved it and printed it. I knew I wanted to do some mixed media, and this is a heavier paper. It's almost like a mixed media paper. It was in one of my albums, so it's quite thick, and I just ran it through my printer and printed it out, and then as you've seen, I used some absorbent ground. It is very similar to gesso, but you can use it for watercolors. So it's a primer for watercolors, and I am going to be using some of my Shimmerz stuff. I got their Christmas kit or like collection, and it has some amazing colors. So I'm going to start off with this, but one thing that you didn't see me do, but that is on there, is I went through and I listed a whole bunch of things that we like to do, or that you think about when you think about Christmas and the holiday season. And I actually used a ruler to make lines first so that it would be mostly straight. And then I went in and erased it as much as I could, because I really just wanted the phrases. And so now I'm just doing my splattering technique. Nothing really complicated. I just take watercolors, or in this case I'm using the pink Moscato spray, and from Shimmerz. It's a Vibes. It's so beautiful. And I did kind of touch up the flower a little bit. I'm trying not to go over that section where it says Hello December too much, because the ink from the printer is going to smudge, right? Because it's just printer ink. I don't have like a fancy photo printer that is not smudge proof. It's an inkjet. So essentially the ink just lays. I mean, it's probably soaked in a little bit more on a paper like this. That color right there that you just see me use is the rose gold, and that's a new color, and it's really pretty. It has some nice shimmer to it as well. And then this is their, I don't remember what that one is, but this one's part of their Christmas one, and it's so pretty. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. It's so Christmassy. And I was a little worried because this is a lot of red, right? But I wanted it to feel like Christmas. There's these colors that we associate with Christmas. Well, and that green is like a minty green. It's green, but it almost is more mint, especially when you add a little bit more water to it. And so it's just this turned out so amazing. Um, and just by splattering it around, and I tried to dry as much as I could in between, especially the change of the colors, like in between this red. And now I'm using this color called Velveteen Green. And this is like a really dark tealy green. So it has a lot more green in it than like of the blue color, but it is so pretty. So, and I knew it was going to match with the colors of um, the floral in the page on the other side. So that heart that has those florals have like different color greens and some mints and stuff. And I knew that the colors that I was choosing were going to match with that, but also make you think about Christmas, because this is, what I'm thinking about. I want my album to say Christmas. I mean, yes, I want it to be fun, and sometimes it's cool and fun to add pinks and stuff, and, and they look really pretty, but I also want to go away knowing that this looks like a Christmas spread, right? Because while I'm doing this, I'm thinking about what kind of message am I thinking about for today? What kind of theme am I thinking about to start off my album? And a lot lately, I've been thinking about the concept of preparing for the holiday season. We all, in our own ways, do things to prepare, right? So right now I am using some thinned paint in a fine line bottle, and I just drew some triangle trees in the Larkindesign Christmas kit. There's a card that has some triangle trees like that, and I wanted to mimic those going into my album. So you're not gonna go, oh yeah, that's from there necessarily, right? But when you look at it later, you will know that that's what it is. It'll like, I don't know, it just goes into your brain, right? So I'm trying to make some gold modeling paste because why wouldn't I just use gold shimmer, like some kind of Shimmerz modeling paste, or just use this Faber-Castell straight up. But in the end, I actually really liked the way that it turned out. It turned out a little bit more coppery by adding the gold and some of the gold inklings to it. And it has just a little bit of shimmer. So it's really nice and fun. And this is a Tim Holtz stencil that is like a cobbly stone type of circly one. And it's perfect, right? And I just went in different areas, and I tried not to go completely over the whole thing. And now you're going to see me bring this over to an art journal page that I actually was working on. So you get to see a little sneak of that. Because I still have some of this paste and I don't want to waste it. I can always come back to this other page later and finish it up, which I will. But and this is I always try to do that. I try to save a little bit of what I'm using. And so just make sure you clean up your palette knife and your stencil really good, because what I was using was the like regular modeling paste, and that dries so much. And once that dries on, it's ugh. So now I'm working on putting on my my title, or my phrase, my sentiment, and it is gonna read, "Let every heart prepare him room." So if you don't know, those are the words for part of the song For Joy to the World. And it just, that song, especially at the beginning, it just talks about preparation. They're preparing. There's lots of things that happened, before Christ came and was born. Of course, I did not stick these on. I should have started at either at the bottom or the top and just like picked one way instead of trying to prepare him. But I wanted to make sure that those letters were going to fit in there once I started adding some of the other stuff. So it's a little funky, but that's okay. I actually kind of like it that way because it's kind of like the scattered piece, but in the end it kind of all comes together, right? I did glue this down with the Tombow mono. It's one of my stronger adhesives. I actually probably need some really good tacky glue too, because the one thing about doing any kind of alphas like this on a page like this is it's not going in a protector. So you really do want to make sure that you're using a glue that you know is going to hold pretty well, because once your kids and your family start looking through your album, there's a good chance that something could get knocked off. I have had stuff get knocked off. So I'm just going to make sure everything is straight so you get to see my pretty purple hair for a second. And that is pretty much it for this part. I absolutely love how it turned out. So you need to make sure you go over to the blog over at Larkin Designs. I'll have the link below so that you can check that out because it's going to be amazing. So here is the rest of day one. And as you can see, I've kind of started working on some stuff, and I'm working on the card so that everything is done. Apparently, and I thought I had it on video, but maybe not, when I did the mint page, I added that to Photoshop, and then I put the card in the middle because this was another 4x6 card, and then I put it in a 6x8 template, and then I used the eyedropper and I copied the mint color, and then I used the paint bucket tool on the top and the bottom. If that is something that you would like to see me actually do in Photoshop, let me know and I'll just do like a screenshot video of it. It's pretty simple, but sometimes it's nice to see just little simple things that you can do to change these kinds of digital cards, because this is the one of the things that I absolutely am loving about using digital stuff is that I can go in and just kind of tweak it to fit my style, you know, and it worked out perfectly. That was the perfect kind of card to have it go into my day one. And yeah, so now you are seeing me do something. On day one, besides taking that awesome sunset picture, which I haven't even gotten to explain, but you'll just have to go over to the blog and read about it because I talk about it over there. I also took some headshots of my kid, or like, you know, pictures of my kids. Every once in a while, I try to make them sit and just take some nice pictures of them trying to smile. And so I did, but this is always something comical in my house. So, but I chose the nicest one that I liked from each of them, and I'm gonna put this in between day one and day two, and so I'm just creating like a little fold out thing. This is one of the things that I did a lot in 2015, where I created a lot of these little like pockets or like foldy thingies, right? With multiple pictures, and it's a really good way to add like some extra pictures with, I mean, it's gonna add bulk to your album, but you can slip it in between the pockets, or you can slip it somewhere in your album and it doesn't take as much space as a whole like page protector, and it creates these really fun elements. So basically what I'm doing is taking some, I took that wood grain piece and I folded it in half, and so it's gonna get smushed in between two photos, and then the one photo I actually had to back with like a, not pattern paper. I could have used pattern paper, but I used white cardstock, and I put it around the photo, and then I'm gonna adhere the card, that December daily card from Ali Edwards, right onto it. for whatever reason, my card and my photos didn't line up or something. So I made it work, and I absolutely love how this turned out. Now, one thing that you didn't see me do that I do end up doing is adding a little Avery file tab to the top of it with a little strip on the inside. So you'll see that when I share photos on Instagram, and in here, I think you'll see the photos. But definitely check out the links below so you can check out Teresa's store, Larkin Designs, because she has a lot of fun stuff and cards, and she's going to be coming out with a lot of stuff this year. If you haven't been following me, I am a part of her design team this year, and I am super, like, going into 2018, and I'm super excited to join up with her and use some of her awesome and amazing stuff and do something a little bit different, and tie it into my style. And check out the blog so you can read all about my day one. And I will see you guys later with some more December daily and some more other amazing and fun stuff that I have going on. I will see you guys later, and have a great holiday season. Bye!